I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on to be and to have. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts. We're doing grade 2. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of to be and to have. All right. So when it comes to our chapter, right, we said that our chapter is to be and to have. We're doing the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 2. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on is to be, to use the correct present tense form, or to be, we're going to use the correct past tense form. Right, so that is going to be our lessons for today. So to be, we're going to use the correct present tense form, and to be, we're going to use the correct past tense form. All right. So when it comes to our chapter on to be and to have, then we have the verb to be that is irregular, right? So the verb to be is irregular. And once the verb to be is irregular, and then it does not follow any rules, right? So it doesn't follow any rules, it is irregular, meaning that the verb can change, right? It's not where we're going to say you add D or you add ED to show the tense of the verb, right? So it doesn't follow rules that most verbs follow. You're just going to have to remember the form. And when it comes to our verb to be that is irregular, then it means that you're just going to have to remember the form, whether it is in the present tense or whether it is in the past tense. So if we look at the verb to be, that is in the present tense, right? Remember the present tense, it shows that things are happening now. So the present tense, it tells us that things are happening now. And we will have our subject, which is either the person or thing that is doing the action. And then we also have our present tense verb, right, which is to be. And if we look at the subject, right, that matches the present tense verb, if we make mention of I, right, if we make mention of I, like for example, if you want to say I, whatever, right, we're going to look at that now. Then you use the present tense verb, which is am. So you're going to say then I. So you're going to use I, but you're going to say I am. It's like saying I am, um, let me see, the age with the grade. I am 7 or 8 years old. So here with the subject, you can then say, if we were to create a sentence, it's like saying I am, let's say, 8 years old. So here we use the subject I with the verb am, 8 years old. So which means that our subject matches with our present tense verb. The subject I matches with the verb am. So I am, and then you can go on. I am listening, or I am watching. I am playing a game. I am eating, right? So basically, am is in our irregular verb. If we make mention of words like when we either say he, or we say she, or we say it, if we want to make mention of the subject, which is either he, if we want to say that he did something, then we say he is. It's like now. So he is playing his game, right? Or she is watching a movie. Or we can say it is in the cupboard or in the wardrobe, right? So we use the word either he is, he, the which is a subject with the verb is, or she with the subject, she the subject she with the verb is, or it which is the subject with the verb is. And then we use the subject you to refer to somebody else, we which refers to more than one of us, or they which refers to them, right? They, two or more people over there that does the action. So if we, for example, want to say you, then you say you are. It's like saying you are late, right? Or if we use the word we, the subject we, with the present tense verb, then we say we are dancing, or we are eating, or dancing, or we are doing something. They are, and we can say they are leaving. But we then use the words you, the subject you, with are, we are, they are. And that is in the present tense. That is when we say the verb is irregular but in the present form, present tense form. And then we have the verb, right? That is also irregular but in the past tense. And if we have the verb that is irregular in the past tense, then also, once again, remember there's no rule that it follows. So you're just going to have to remember the form of the verb. But now, in the past tense, if you want to make mention of I, right? I. And then we can say, in the past, I was. Because we're referring to one person. If you're referring to one person, which is either I or he, she, or it, then we say was. So I was eating my porridge. I was in the washroom. If we either say ye, or we say she, or we say it, which refers to one person, then we also say he was, because it's one person. So was. She, which is one person, was. It, which is one thing, was. And then if we refer to more than one thing or more than one person, then we say you were, we were, or they were. Because it's more than one person or more than one thing. Were. And this is basically how we can use the verb to be. And like we say, when the verb to be is irregular, then it does not follow the rules that most of the verbs follow. We're not going to say add ed, add this, add that. You're going to have to remember the verb form. You're going to have to remember the form, whether it's in the present tense or whether it is in the past tense. And once again, we said that when it's in the present tense, then you have your subject and you have your present tense form, right? Your present tense verb. So we say that in the present tense, when we make mention of I, then we say I am, If we make mention of he, she, or it, then we say he, she, or it is. And if we make mention of you, we, or they, and then we say are. So if one in the present tense, if one person or thing does something, we say is. She is, he is, it is. It's one person. If there's more than one person that does something, then we say are. But then again, in the past tense, right? In the past tense, if we refer to one person or thing doing something, which is either I or he or she or it, which is one person, then we say was because it happened already. But if there's more than one person or thing doing something, which is you, we, or they, then were, right? And that is basically our verb to be, which is irregular in the present tense form as well as in the past tense form. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to use the correct present tense form. So we're first going to focus on the present tense form and then we're going to move on to the past tense form. And during the course of this lesson, I'm going to ask you if you understand. If you don't understand, I will explain it again. So if you don't understand, then please let me know and I will explain it again. Even if I must explain it to the same person over and over, I will explain. So please let me know if you don't understand and then I will explain again. All right. So once again, we said that when it comes to how to be within the present tense form, then to be, the verb to be is irregular once again. And when it's irregular, then it does not follow any rules. You're just going to have to remember it. We have our subject and we have our present tense verb, right? So we said that if we make mention of I as a subject, then it's I am. If we make mention of he as a subject, then it's he is, or she is, or it is. It's one person. This is one person is. I'm going to do that. One person is. That's in the present tense form. Happy New Year. And then if we make mention of more than one person in the present tense, then we say you are, we are, they are. This is, let's say, more. I'm going to say, yeah, more than one person. So more than one person are, right? So now we're going to look at a few examples or let's say activities, and then we're going on to our test, right? Look at the first one. It says complete the sentence with the correct present tense form to be. It says I, and you can even look at this over here to help guide you. It says I all ready for bed. I am already for bed. Do we say I am already for bed? I is already for bed? I are already for bed? We need to choose the correct one. So do we say it's I am? Do we say it's I is? Or do we say it's I are? We need to choose one of these words that is going to fit in that sentence. I am already for bed, I is already for bed, or I are already for bed. Which one is correct? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, I am is correct. I am already for bed. Well done. So am is correct. Well done. All right, let's go on to the next one. He, he. Do we say he am a wonderful cook? He is a wonderful cook, or he are a wonderful cook? We need to choose the correct verb or the present tense form to be to complete our sentence. He am a wonderful cook. He is a wonderful cook. He are a wonderful cook. So, what is the correct answer? All right, then if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, he is. Well done, because we're referring to one person. So one person is, whether it is he is, she is, it is. Well done. He is a wonderful cook. Well done. Is correct. All right, let's look at the last one and then we're going on to our test. She, do we say she am an old friend of my mother's? She is an old friend of my mother's, or she are an old friend of my mother's? Which one is correct? So she am an old friend of my mother's, she is an old friend of my mother's, or she are an old friend of my mother's. Which one is correct? All right, then if you were to choose the correct option, one person is. So whether it's he is, she is, it is. Well done. So she is an old friend of my mother's. Well done. All right, before we go on to our test, does everybody understand? Should we re explain, pre explain, over explain? Should I explain again? The verb to be, which is irregular in the present tense form. Or do we understand? You know how to use to be, which is in the present tense form, before we go on to our test. Should I explain again? All right. Okay, so as long as everybody understands, right? Okay, so now we're going on to our test. All right, so we're going on to our test and we have to complete the sentence with the correct present tense form of to be, right? It says we need to choose one of the correct present tense forms of to be and basically complete the sentence. It says she, do we say she are or she is at her dad's house this weekend? So she are option one or she is at her dad's house this weekend. We need to choose the correct answer. All right, then if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, option two is correct. So she is at her dad's house this weekend. Well done. Is, because one person is. Well done. We refers to more than one person. Do we say we are or we am wait for the rain? We are wait for the rain, or do we say we am wait for the rain? More than one person. Do we say more than one person are or more than one person am? Which one is correct? Well done. So we are or we am wait for the rain. All right. And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, we'll say we are. Well done, because it's more than one person. If more than one person does something, then it is are. So we are wait for the rain. Well done. Are is correct. The next one says I, right? Do we say I are busy on the computer right now, or do we say I am busy on the computer right now? Which one is correct? I are or I am? So I are or I am. All right, then if we were to choose the correct answer, we will say I am. Well done. I am busy on the computer right now. Well done. Well done, everybody. All right. So that was basically how that was to be and how we use the correct present tense form, right? The present tense form. Remember, we said that if we use the subject I and the present tense form of to be, then we say I am. If we use the subject he, she, or it, right? And we use it the present tense form of to be, then we say he, she, or it is, because it's one person is. And if we mention more than one person, for example, we say they or we and or you, then we say are, because it refers to more than one person. More than one person are, one person is, but I am, and that is in the present tense form. So now we're going on to the past tense form of to be, right? The past tense. And remember, we said it in the past tense. If we make mention of either I or he or she or it, then we say I or he or she or it, which refers to one person, was in the present tense, in the past tense, because it happened already. Was. But if you refer to more than one person, like you or we or they, then we say were. So I was, he was, she was, it was. But if we refer to more than one person, then we say you were, we were, they were. Right? And that is the verb to be, which is irregular in the past tense. All right, so now we're going to look at three activities and then we're going on to our test. It says it, it. Do we say it was or it were very noisy at the parade? So it was, or do we say it were very noisy at the parade? So it was or it were very noisy at the parade. We need to choose the correct past tense form of to be. All right. And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, we can say it was, because it refers to one person. So it was very noisy at the parade. Was. Right? Well done. The next one says we, which is more than one person. Do we say we was with our grandmother and grandfather last night? Or do we say we were with our grandmother and grandfather last night? We was or we were? Which one is correct? So we was or we were? Which one is correct? We was or we were? And if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, well done. We were. Well done. We were with our grandmother and grandfather last night. Well done. Were is correct because it refers to more than one person. We were. All right, let's look at the last one and then we're going on to our test. You. Do we say you was? You was the best one in the play? Or do we say you were the best one in the play? Which one is correct? You was or you were the best one in the play? So you was or you were the best one in the play. Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, we will say you were, right? Like over here, you were the best one in the play. Well done. All right, so now we're going on to our test where we're going to look at to be to use the correct past tense form of to be, right? Where we say one person was, more than one person were, or you were. So you, do we say you were option one or you was option two, the best one in the play? Which one is correct? You were or you was? So you were or you was. Option one or option two. Which one is correct? Yes, and if we were to choose the correct option, then yes, we will choose option one. You were the best one in the play. Well done. Option one is correct. Well done. The next one say they, which is more than one. Do we say they was or they were brave on the first day of school? They was brave on the first day of school or they were brave on the first day of school? Which one is correct? They was or they were? Yes, and if we were to choose the correct option, then we say they were. Well done. They were brave on the first day of school. Good job. All right, let's look at the last one. The last one says, one person. Do we say I was happy at my school in Hampton? Or do we say I were happy at my school in Hampton? Which one is correct? I was or I were? So I was or I were. And if we were to choose the correct option, right, then yes, well done. I was, because it refers to one person. Well done, everybody. I was. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on to be and to have. We focused on to be, use the correct present tense form, as well as to be, use the correct past tense form. And in our next lesson, we will continue on to the next ones. But we say that to be, we have our subject that matches our present tense form of to be, right? And then we have the subject that matches the past tense form of to be, right? And it is irregular, so you're just going to have to remember the form of the verb. All right, so this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. And I really hope that you do have a way better understanding of to be and to have. So, till next time, goodbye.